Hello and welcome to 7 Super Series. I'm Ben from the Bonehead podcast and this is the Game 7 preview. Seven Super Series is our escalation league for the best way to play Blood Bowl Sevens. Sevens is a fast play variant with a smaller pitch, smaller teams, shorter halves, but bigger gameplay. We've got 5 teams facing off against each other across 10 weeks. Then we'll take the top 4 teams and through a series of knockout playoff games, determine the 7 Super Series 3 champion. This is an escalation league, so no permanent injuries, and before each game a team plays, they will receive a single skill depending on their team tier. Each week we'll get together and have a look at a preview of the game coming up the next weekend, and this weekend's matchup we are joined once again by Ian Triple Pow Triplo to run the Elven Union team, lovingly painted by Bloodtide Ben for our Dungeon Bowl Championship. And I get to retain control of the Undercity Warpfires, so that's Underworld, which is basically just Skaven with goblins added. So I'm very happy. This is a very dash versus dash situation. So we're going to do what we do every week, have a look at both the rosters, talk about the matchup, and then most importantly of all, have a look at the viewer championship, which I believe is finally corrected because I made the spreadsheet too small. Too many people posted too many predictions, and I didn't check to make sure that we had enough space. We do now have enough space, so we should have the most accurate points. Anyway, let's have a look at the teams. First up is the Loathen Legion, which is our Elven Union team. Now, this is round 4, so the teams are moving into their 4th skill, which for this team as a tier 2, they do get access to another secondary skill, but they've not gone for it. This roster with 2 Elven Blitzers, 1 Elven Thrower, 1 Elven Catcher, and 3 Line Elves comes in at 585k, and those 4 skills are leader on the Thrower to get that integral reroll for the team there. 1 Line Elf with Kick, which is a super useful skill when it comes to Blood Bowl 7s. You're able to put it right back at the end or in that neutral zone and just drop the ball really close to you. That's going to force your opponent to move up and overcommit, which gives you basically the first profitable blitz. So it's a really useful skill to be able to basically dictate the speed, the tempo of the match. And then of course they've gone with a double stack of skills on the Elven Catcher. Movement 8, Strength 3, Edge 2+, and now Dodge with Block. Basically, this roster is sporting 3 blitzers, and one of them is Movement 8. The other 2 have got better armor and sidestep, so there's 3 high speed, high agility blocking pieces here, which just makes this roster really, really powerful in 7s. 7s is dictated by not messing up, right? By not having to use that reroll, even though the team's got one, by not having to make those dodges, even though we've got dodge and edge 2+ on this roster, by not having to block unless the odds are in your favor. With 3 block skills on the Loathen Legion's side, it's going to be pretty decent. And when you look at the matchup here, they're going up against Underworld. Now, Underworld have got some nice bits on the roster, but every one of these players here is edge 2+, movement 6, 7, 8, and strength 3. The Underworld team is peppered with some amazing players, but a lot of them are strength 2, so the Loathen Legion may not have a big guy to clash with the Roger, but they will have movement and agility and enough strength to be able to strike certain players when they want to. So even though they might technically be outbashed by the Rat Ogre, the Loathen Legion here has got some serious striking power and 3 movement, 7 or 8 edge 2+ blocking pieces, with one of the best throwers in the game. And talking about the best throwers in the game, we've got one on this team here. It is the Skaven Thrower, and there's other players on this team too. So the Rat Ogre has now got Block using one of the secondary skills here. I've not coloured in the 4th skill, but this one does have 4 skills now. The Skaven Blitzer now has Tackle. The Skaven Thrower has Leader to give, again, an integral reroll for the team, and Block on the Gutter Runner is going to help keep it alive. 3 Goblins, an assistant coach, and a desperate measure takes it to bang on 600k. So, this roster's strengths: best thrower in the game, potentially one of the best catchers or runners in the game with the gutter runner there. Being movement 9, edge 2+ with dodge and now block means that it is almost unstoppable. However, it is matched on the other side by a movement 8, strength 3 blodger in the Elven catcher. So on a 1-to-1 basis, the gutter runner is faster but is significantly weaker. That other catcher, the Elven catcher here, is going to have an advantage when taking on the gutter runner. Now, the tackle piece on this roster is going to be useful for taking out that catcher, but only one piece of dodge on the Elven roster. That tackle is going to be limited. But what is not limited is a big guy with block. Now, the Rat Ogre here, strength 5 with frenzy and mighty blow and now block. It's going to be able to make some really powerful hits. So if the Rat Ogre works, essentially, we could see a couple of elves go out here. Now, the really interesting thing about this roster is the desperate measure. So we could see a wizard, we could see fouls, we could see a strength 3 gutter runner. That would be nice. Or I might go for a strength 4 tackle piece at that point. I don't really know what happens when we roll that. The point is that the rosters are both a little bit vulnerable. Elves, low armor. Underworld, low armor and low strength. We've got the Rat Ogre that might be able to take out some elves, and we've got 3 block elves with all that movement and that agility and that strength. They're going to be useful to hit the Skaven gutter runner and those goblins as well. Both rosters sitting at 7 players means that kind of the first one to lose the most players is going to be in a bad spot, but they both have enough edge to kind of be able to pull it off. Goblins are underrated. Movement 6 is not the fastest thing in the world, but stunty dodge 3+ is really good. They are faster than movement 6 because most of the time you can afford to go through squares that other players couldn't go through. So the gutter runner is the most important piece on the Warpfire's team, especially with the way I play them. That thrower is effective. The blitz are both effective movement, like 7 ball carriers if the gutter runner goes out. But the elves have got all of those edge 2+ pieces and the strength advantage on the kind of the median strength advantage, whereas the Undercity Warpfires have got the big advantage in the Roger. If the Roger goes out, this team struggles on strength. However, both teams are very much geared to be fast and to take like any opportunity that comes up. If the ball lands in the midfield and you go for it, pick up, and you fail the pickup, the other team is going to be able to reclaim that ball real quick. This could be a shootout. It could be a cluster if it goes wrong in the middle and they start punching and killing each other. Personally, I'm hoping for the Rat Ogre to just do a great bit of work there, taking out some elves and then rolling for a wizard and nuking the elves. That's my strategy. Tackle on the dodger. It's a blodger, I suppose, and you've got the Rat Ogre to take whatever the coach gives me is probably the best way to do this. It's a good way of processing just free blocks. There's not going to be a huge amount of resilience on either side, so free blocks here are going to be really important. That Rat Ogre's mighty blow and the Skaven blitzer's tackle I think are going to be really key too. So 3 block pieces on each roster, low armor everywhere. This could be a massacre. Okay, so we've got fast and medium strong. We've got fast and a little bit of massive strength and the rest a bit fragile. This is probably my favorite kind of matchup in sevens. We've seen the mid-range versus mid-range clash, the mid-range versus bash clash, where actually it's positioning and grind and you get the scrum and then you're just taking as many free blocks as you can to try and use that push and pull, you know, in the scrum to re-establish some kind of running lane. I love that. But I also really love the opportunities of a movement 8, movement 7 edge 2+ team and a movement 7 movement 9 edge 2+ team to just have it be a turnover followed by a touchdown. Let's re-rack them, go again, and we could have a massively high scoring game here. But both of these teams are also very effective at being able to redeploy to get in the way. Goblins are underrated. Like that edge 3+ and movement 6, they're going to be able to use dodge to get out of where they need to be and just go stand in the way and force more rolls. And with only 1 reroll a piece and only, 1 dodge piece on the elf side, 4 dodge pieces, but 3 of them are edge 3+ here on the Undercity Warpfire side, there's not a lot of consistency. This game is going to come down to planning well and rolling even better. Anyway, this is the preview match, so this is all about guessing your scores, so I think it's time we had a look at the Viewer Championship. So every week we have the preview video where we like to get you to guess the outcome and the score of the match. So let us know what you think the outcome is going to be, whether it's going to be Underworld win, Elven Union win, or a draw, and let us know what you think the score is going to be for each team. So if you think it's going to be a draw, put draw 2-all. If you think Elven Union are going to win 3-1, put Elven Union 3-1. We'll give you 3 points if you guess the outcome right, regardless of the scores, and we'll give you 1 point for each team score you guess right, regardless of the outcome. So there's up to 5 points per game that can be won. This is game 7, so we've got 7, 8, 9, 10 for the regular season, and then 3 finals. So we've got 7 games left to play, so a maximum of 35 points left to score. However, we've had 6 games already, and we've got some players there who've got a few points under their belt. So we're going to take a quick look at the leaderboard. And in first place, Stevie126 is back at 19 points. Adam Pike, who I'm playing Blood Bowl with tonight, 18 points there. In second place, third place, Austin Felker and Olabayu at 17 points. Fourth place, Brad Barrett, Dean Wilson, Mike V, and you at 3 at 16 points. And we've got a chunk of players at 5th here with 15 points. Alex Geddes, Alexander Padberg, Antoine Herbert, Chris Stevenson, who I still got down there twice, Millman, Papa Z, Sonicky, Steve Reed. 6th place at 14 points, we've got Dave Down Under, Dr. Coyle, Graham Pickett, the Resident Dwarf, Nick Broussard, the Ramsden, Toma Prasek. We've got a ton of you in the leaderboard. Hey, Baron, we saw him live on our live stream. Now, we'll have the full Star Wars scroll at the end of the episode, but if you think top place is at 19 points, all you got to do is spike, get 4 games, and you will be in first place at 20 points. There's 7 games left to go, and points win prizes. Okay, don't forget to get your scores in by lunchtime Saturday. The game goes out to our Patreons around about lunchtime on the Saturday, so we cut off the predictions at 11 AM UK time on the Saturday so that none of those Patreons can watch the match and then put their prediction in. Goes live for everybody else on Sunday lunchtime as well. Okay, this could be a masterpiece of a game. We love Elven Union and we love them in 7s. They are one of the better teams in 7s. We love Undercity Warpfires. We love Underworld, and that Rat Ogre combined with the Gutter Runner makes me very, very, very happy. So we've got a good match coming up for you this weekend. Do not forget to get your guesses in. And for now, I'm going to wrap up because all that's left to do is wait for Saturday/Sunday for the game to come out. It's been a while since we filmed this one. I cannot actually remember what the outcome is, which is quite entertaining because I'm looking at this and I'm like, right, what am I going to do in this game? I've already played it. I cannot remember what happened. I think I remember playing against Trips. I remember my game with him playing Khorne. I remember that viscerally. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. Get your scores in below, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.